back to Friday night and something else Amiga. What do we have? We have a messy desk. Amiga 4 on a Nook. And it has 3.0 screens. I'm working on it. It's on a Nook. It's on that machine right there. So anyway, I just blew it up and had to redo something else. Anyway, this is this week's chip junk. What do you mean chip junk? I want to show you how many parts I go through in a week repairing your guys' stuff. These are chip containers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 small ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 40-something pin dips. 5 and 6 in a week. That's how many chips I go through. What do we have on the show today besides you cleaning up your crap? I got a couple things in. Mr. Thomas reached out to me because I fixed a couple of his things before, and he sent me in an Amiga 2000 that looks really nice on the bottom, but uh-oh, she's got a GP. She's not a Varga, and it hasn't barfed. Well, it has barfed, but ever so minutely, barely at the bottom. So the goal of this 2000 should be pretty easy. What we got is this. We have an Amiga 2000 R6 that is super clean and works fine. It's just in for a battery swap. Here's your GP. That is all of the leakage after 30 what the hell ever years. This board was made in 1990 according to its sticker. 33 years this battery's been sitting here, not leaking at all. So Mr. T, he wanted me to check on the caps. A couple of them got squished, bent over, whatever, and we're going to check them for leaks. Clear the Commodore hot glue, double check everything, make sure everything's good. A couple of these caps have a red mark on them. We're going to check Zorro bus. We're going to remove the battery, and we're going to pop the cover off. This has never been out of its metal shielding that I can see, because these are always bent beyond belief, because the brake at the factory was right there, folded them perfect. So I'm going to carefully remove this by removing all of the nut drivers. I am sporting my Taters Before Haters shirt tonight, so represent.
Look at that now, huh?
Thermaltake Smart 700 watt ATX power supply with the Amiga Kit A2000 ATX converter. This simply plugs into your standard ATX 20 pin. You just plop that 4 off if you didn't know they slide out. And click that on there. It only goes on one way. This then gives you your AT P8 P9 style, but it's not. There's a sticker that says at motherboard location J300. You got to move her over. I'll show you that in just 1 second. You take J300 here and you move it from internal to external tick. Tick, what is that? That's how you get your frequency of your power signal. 50 for you guys over there, and 60 for us here in North America, where Jesus lives. And we're going to press the button and see what the heck happens. If the DeVoom turns on, we're good. The DeVoom turned on. And here comes our kickstart screen. She's going to be 1.3. And it's going to take a second because, once again, no floppy. And this chick looks great. We're going to take a voltage reading of this GP. We are charging at 4.45 volt. 4.46. She's a 3.6 battery, but you're always going to overcurrent to charge them. Let's turn this off and check for the voltage of the battery. It hasn't been on in God knows how long, but let's see. Battery is holding it's a 3.6 volt battery. And as you can see, maybe on this screen, I don't know if I can hold that. Did that fall off? 3.54. Now it's falling because it's only charged for a couple seconds. But daggone, can you believe that? This battery, while dying, still can take a charge. Pretty cool. So, in its place, it's going to be going one of those 2032 dudes. And if you're going to do the 2032 cell, please keep in mind they have a diode in them to prevent back charge, because you saw this has 4.5 volts to 5 volts going in to charge this NiCad up. If you didn't have a diode, you would be charging an alkaline battery with 5 volts all the time while your machine's on, potentially risking blowing that battery right up and causing this all over again. Now keep in mind, when you do a 2032 cell in your Amiga, the battery will last maybe 2 months. Maybe 3. Mine, 2 months. I'm like, dang it. So maybe it lasts a little more if you use your machines more, but when I go through the fleet and replace 15 plus batteries and all the units that I have that I use batteries in, and then a couple months later you're just like, I just bought $20 worth of batteries and they're all dead again. So keep that in mind. If you have a network card or the ability to network your Amiga 1200 or your 2000, 3, 4, whatever, any of the Amigas, if you have the ability to network them, you can use Roadshow and it will set the time over the old interwebs. And that's what I've been doing, and I've just taken the batteries right out of my Amigas and I'm using them to power Omnibot's clock. It's 7:25 on Friday night. And we're done.
That'll be $8.
Yes, I'm going to neutralize it with some vinegar and then IPA. Dude, check that out. That's nothing. That is nothing. This has got to be one of the cleanest batteried Amigas that I've done. I mean, nothing is on here. This is so clean. I am highly impressed. Yeah, even the board. That's like the board. That's the dust from the board. There's really nothing. Nothing at all. Amazing, huh? With a machine with this good of caps in it, do you think, sorry for the distraction, do you think that it would even be problematic? Well, let's find out. This is my Chinese multi-tester TC2. The TC1 I blew up because I didn't discharge the capacitor before I put it in there. So I'm going to discharge the capacitor before I put it in here. I'm going to remove a cap. A single cap. And I'm going to test it. Video, composite. White is left. Black is right. Before they went red. Way back in the day. And okay, good. I'm not the first person in here. We have a fingerprint or something in here from a slippery hand long ago. Let's check out our bottom side at the negative and the 2 positive posts of said battery. What is this big mess right here? This is somebody spilled something and it got underneath the board. And see that? It could be some flux. Just some residual flux from Commodore's wonderful quality control. The solder sucker smoke is from the flux. Now again, alcohol, cotton swab. Whoops, now you can see 3 nicely evacuated holes in the bottom. I'll wipe that one again. I'm going to micro drill to clean that out because sometimes a solder tip and flux and everything you got is not enough. These are micro drills. They are hand operated, finger operated, literally micro drills. I've shown them before. They range from a hair to slightly larger than a hair. And pick your appropriate hole and stick it in there and just start twisting. Bloop. You will evacuate the holes. Don't worry about drilling through. It has a safety stop where there's no threads, and you will go all the way down. You can just rotate and really just give her the onions, clean her out. And this will work for that stuff that the solder turns into after 30 years when you have slapped it with over 400 C of heat and it still won't melt because it is concrete. This takes care of all that. So here is a 1647 UF capacitor that I'm going to do some magic with some pliers here and open her up. Let's see what we see. So after 30 something years, do we have a resistor or a 47 microfarad capacitor. Holy crap. 47.17, 0.7 ohms ESR. This thing is brand new. Power off. Okay, for example, this original cap could go right back in and be totally fine. You're thinking, Chris, no, why would you do that? You have all these new caps and blah, 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 blah. These are 2022 production, November, October Nichicons. Same cap, 1647. Going in the same one. These are brand new. Get in there, you booger, a long leg. Brand new 2022 production Nichicon 1647. Come on. 48.1. Focus. 48.1. 1.1 ESR. VLOS 2.6. The 30-something-year-old capacitor of Nichicon is better than the 2022 production brand new capacitor from Nichicon. Same one. I don't know if you can read that, but it says Nichicon. Really, you probably can't read it. It's there. And the original one is an Elna. So the original Elna is still in great shape too. But since I cut her legs, I gotta put a new one in anyway. So you're getting one new cap. There's my phone. Because of course, if you're shooting a video, my phone's gotta go off. It's amazing on that capacitor, isn't it? That's an amazing Elna. She did really well for her age. Here's our new capacitor we put back on. You can see she's nice and good. Solder all the way through. Hey, look at that. You can clearly see the metal. I bet you all the other ones are fine too. The 500 to 2000 really don't have a capacitor leak problem like the 1200s do. Those cheap Chinese surface mounts that they used on the 600s and 1200s, CD32s, 4000 towers, 4000s, they were a real turd bucket. And it wasn't just Commodore being cheap ass. Every computer manufacturer in the late 80s to 90s, when the surface mount transition was happening, let's say early 90s, every computer manufacturer in the early 90s did that. They switched to the cheap Chinese brands because China companies offered capacitors at a significantly cheaper price than the Japanese brand capacitors that are in here, and you paid the price. Did they work? They worked fine. We didn't build these to run more than 5 years. Ask anybody who worked at Commodore, hi, and they'll tell you the same thing. Basic idea of a machine, even to this day, is 5 years. Apple, same thing. They don't even support stuff over 5+ years old. They're like, oh, tough crap, hack it yourself to work it. So this is in perfect shape. We're going to remove this plastic shielding. Look at that. That's in great shape. There's no fingerprints on it besides my own. We're going to get the old ammonia-based Windex. Unbeatable, original, straight-free shine. I just got to see if I can get this goop thing off of whatever this is. It is an old fingerprint. It has been cleaned up. But I'm still giving it a wipe because I touched it. Before I put the plastic back in, I want to make sure that anything dirt-wise has come out. Yes, that is an ancient fingerprint or something. I'm going to use this crap again and wipe this metal. And that's that. What a great specimen of a machine. My final step, I'm going to wipe this off wearing gloves like I always do. I keep them right here. They're just white gloves, anti-static, anti-lint, microfiber-y kind. Let these old battleship scarred things look nice for once, but it's just so I don't get any additional oils while I wipe them off. Then I pack them with the gloves on after it dries, of course. That way there's no fingerprints from me. Yes, could this be recapped entirely? It could, but there's nothing wrong with these caps. I tested the one. I can test randos. But if I'm taking caps off that are in better condition than the brand new crap that I just got last year, fresh production, that's saying something about the quality of those caps. Either that or this machine hasn't been used much. And based upon the quality of this battery, there was your only leak right there at the base of this tip. And the cells, they're like a bunch of LR44s together. You ever seen inside of a GP battery? This is the enemy of your Amiga. This is a GP brand 3.6 volt 60 milliamp hour rechargeable NiCad battery. This battery is 33 years old. The original manufacture date of this was 1990. This is a GP 60K. This consists of 4 cells, which I'm going to show you. I'm going to cut into the plastic shielding where they all leak, usually on the negative where my battle-scarred thumb is. And we're going to peel off her girl, and I'm going to show you where they leak. And then I'm going to have to wash my hands. So, these are 3 bonded cells, and here's your leak. It's in my hands. So glad this was changed. See the wetness? The inside of this is actually wet with electro yucky. They're little like pancake batteries sandwiched together. They are rechargeable, but while she didn't leak directly to the motherboard on this Amiga, it was leaking. So thank you for your service. Get the hell out of here. And you can see the acids right here. And I'm going to show you what alcohol does to those acids. Now this is a rubber mat, of course. It'll pull up into this. We'll get some blackness, which is the color of the mat. The idea is I give her a scrub, pretending this is a circuit board. There is no more acid in this area. Now I will wipe this entire thing down because I work on boards here all the time. Fresh scrub of alcohol that neutralizes any acid and on me, and of course I will wash up afterwards. So that is the murder of the GP battery, and we'll give this a full cleaning. But as far as that Amiga 2000 goes, that's good to go. I'm going to get that puppy in the mail and back to the owner pronto. It was just a battery removal, quick check over. It works fine. I'm going to run it through its full Amiga test kit diagnostics real quick, and then we'll pack her up and get her back to the owner. Disk drive's booting, Amiga test kit. Boom. This is 1.6. Wait a minute, I need a newer one. I need to hook up the Devoom TVU for audio. Audio, as I thought, perfect. Perfect. Memory, it has 1 meg on board. I'll give it a test. You know it's going to pass. This is a beautiful specimen. This is a 6.2 serial number 48932. Manufactured October 1990. Late in the game on the 2000s there. So we're rocking 3.4, 3.5, and she'll just keep on climbing. 4, that's good. CIAs, we are good across the board. All tests pass. I don't have the peripheral ports. All F's 030, not the processor. Yep. Battery backed up clock is detected. Invalid date and time. We just do this. Remember, I don't have a oh, it's 2050. Whoops. This only goes to 2080, so if you 2079, December 31st, 2079. So, yep, there we go. RGB gradient, perfect. Checkerboard, perfect. Alternating. This monitor does not display. It's meant for a 1084S. Floppy drive, of course, is my own floppy drive. So it's fine. I'm not going to go bumping heads. Oh, controller ports, left, right, left, right. And that is that. We can flip her to 50 Hertz, PAL. And you can see how the screen looks even better. I'm NTSC monitor being PAL, it works. If I'm a PAL Amiga being PAL, I get some jail bars like you wouldn't believe. So that is a completed quick checkup, 1 cap job, Amiga 2000 6.2 battery removal, just to look over, make sure she's good, and it's pristine. So I'm glad that this is going back, and we'll get it sorted and to the owner immediately. Thank you guys for coming along on this sort of quick update, repair, check, thing. Until next time, thanks for watching, and as always, hope you learned something.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?